Hello and welcome to this SUPboarder interview where we are chatting with Brendon Prince, who circumnavigated the UK on a paddleboard, and we'll be speaking to him about his experience at the last paddler standing event. Now that was an endurance race event held in December last year where paddlers had to paddle a 5 kilometer course, and they started on the hour every hour, and they went until there was only one paddler left standing. So that was a really great event, a world first, and Brendon's going to share some insights on a SUPboarder Pro video that is going to be the extended video to this. So make sure you do sign up to SUPboarder Pro, or if you've got a subscription, you're very lucky because there's tons of insights there to get you into that endurance side, or even just listening to Brendon speak is really inspiring as well. This video here, just introducing Brendon and his charity Above Water, which is doing really great things in the water safety, and also speaking to him about that Northern Ireland paddle as well, where he paddled the Northern Ireland coastline. Really hope you enjoy this, and do remember to check out the extended video on SUPboarder Pro. Here's Brendon now.
Always been a waterman, love the water in every way, spent a life at it, affected by accidental drowning in my life, which just took me in a whole different route, and that route meant that I needed to do something big. So I put all those water skills together to circumnavigate the UK on a stand-up paddleboard, and ever since then, my mission is to stop accidental drowning in this country and beyond. And I do everything I can. You know, the self-promotion is great promotion for what I'm trying to do, and it opens so many doors for me that previously, in the last 20 years of trying to do this, was shut. And you know, and I've been very blessed to get awards recently, and all those things help for that. So yeah, I'm someone who loves the water and wants everybody to love the water, but safely. And SUP is my medium for doing that.
Yeah, amazing. I'm so glad that you chose SUP because it's such a fantastic sport and so many people are behind you and doing it as well. And you mentioned that you got an award recently, yourself and the charity Above Water that you run got the, is it Points of Light award from the
Yeah,
UK
Points of
government?
Life. You know, I didn't really know that was an award, but it's a daily award, and it just means that you're focused on, you're on their radar, and that's the more important bit. But you know, regardless of your political views or whatever, it's a great thing to receive and great publicity for the charity, and has opened lots of doors only in the last couple of weeks off the back of it. So it's got to be a good thing.
Yeah, fantastic. It must boost your confidence in knowing that you're doing something great and that people are behind it as well, especially at the top level.
Absolutely. Absolutely, yeah, and it gives that extra justification, because there are lots of charities, lots of great work being done in this country and beyond to do with water safety, but we fill a gap that is there, and it's just going from bigger and bigger and bigger every month, every day.
Yeah, amazing. And just quickly, I just want to touch on when you finished the UK circumnavigation. So you did the Northern Ireland coastline as well. Can you just
Yeah.
tell us just briefly a little bit about that?
Oh, do you know what? If you've never paddled in Northern Ireland, get over there. So I went over there, and the idea was to climatize a little bit and paddle the Grand Canal, because I'd never really paddled canals, and I just wanted to experience some 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 proper long distance still water. So you know, day one I paddled 19 hours, and then got to the point where I was, because they haven't looked after the Grand Canal, fighting my way through undergrowth, and that's when it's just like, this is, I've given it my best shot. And then start the Northern Ireland coast. And the idea, because I only really had a couple of weeks to do it, was just to demonstrate how you can use the conditions to go do different bits, not rather than getting from A to B, but do different bits, jet backwards and forwards, because it's only 160, 170k. It's not a big distance. But do you know what is amazing? This is why I say get out there and paddle Northern Ireland. It's because all the best bits of Scotland, which are thousands of kilometers, are all condensed into that 260 in Northern Ireland. So the big swell, big vast beaches, through to huge cliffs, huge flow. I mean, ridiculous flow, and weather coming down the Irish Channel. It's just great fun, great fun. So to finish Northern Ireland, and the people in Northern Ireland are so cool and helpful and there for you. So to put that all together, and to do it in 7 days, which I was really pleased with, And to add that to the 141 days of the mainland, to actually, do every inch of the UK coastline. So super happy with how it worked out.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and huge congratulations as well for finishing it and doing that and showing that you can do different sections depending on the wind and the tide and the weather conditions and things like that. Let's move into the last paddler standing. Now that was a world first event, a very different format of to what other events, endurance events have been. You need to paddle through, is it 5 kilometers, 3.3 miles, kind of a lap within an hour. And then they
Yeah.
start that lap every hour, and it's last man standing. Whoever can do the most laps is the winner.
Yeah, it's very simple, eh? Very simple concept.
Sounds very simple. Yeah, yeah. Can you just tell us about your experience first? I'll dive into some questions a bit later about it, but just overall, how was that experience for you?
Well, do you know what? The prep I thought is quite simple in that all you've got to do is paddle that distance. So I knew how long that distance would take me if I was going flat out, and I knew how long it would take me if I was on death's door. And I wanted to hit somewhere in between. So 43 minutes basically was my target. 43 minutes is nice. It's not fast paddling, but it's not slow paddling. It just is concerted. That was my plan. And I thought if I just do that every hour, and I practiced that for 24 hours here. So I knew I could do 24 hours. Wanted to try and do 48 before I left, but just time didn't allow that. And then you think you're fully prepared for it. And then you get there and it's 34 degrees. And coming from South Devon, where it was 2 or 3 prior to Christmas, to that was a shock. It was a shock. And, it was all good that it started. I mean, phenomenal setup, great lake that it's done on. Typically Florida, in that every hour is like clockwork in the way that it's either still or windy, depending on what the heat has created. And I was in the event long enough to see a full day's weather change and how dramatic those sort of local winds can be on such a small lake in the course of the day. And also to see that dusk hour where mosquitoes take over planet Earth for an hour, through to then the nighttime where you just see lights of eyes and slithers and life going on that you think, was that an alligator? Was that a snake? Was that all the things that you don't see in South Devon? But yeah, I was underprepared. I was carrying an injury, thousands of excuses. But for me, I was projectile vomiting on about lap 17, and I knew I was trying to get to the least to the morning. But on hour 19, lap 90, I finished lap 19, and it was, it was the heat of the day. Basically, I hadn't covered myself, and it just really, and then I was ill then for 3-4 days afterwards. But that's all part of you've got to overcome that as well as all the other things to be the last paddler standing. And it wasn't for me, but the 7 people that continued on after me just showed such resilience, such capability of the paddle, in those conditions, in everything that was kind of thrown. And there's nothing thrown at you, but everything is thrown at you if you're going to paddle for 48 hours, and you're going to go through all sorts of emotions and different conditions. It's a phenomenal event, hence why I've signed up for next year already.
I've seen that. That's amazing. We can't wait. We'll definitely be supporting you on that.
Thank you so much, Brendon. And remember, you can get more insights into the last paddler standing on the SUPboarder Pro video. The link is in the description below, so make sure you do go and click that and watch for some really inspiring, and we just learned a ton of things as well about endurance paddling and what you need to be able to do to prepare for an event like this, and if it's something that you're interested in. Also, I'm going to let you know, Brendon drops 2 exclusives in the SUPboarder Pro video as well. So things to watch out for in 2023 from Brendon.